Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm actually going to be reading from a new chapter I put together last night um, in my new book that's coming out called Echoes of the Delta. Um, it sits a little heavier on the heart, but it carries a lot of truth with it. It's called When You Make Room for Grief. Um, I guess, kind of down here in the South, we've learned that grief doesn't come crashing in like a storm. It kind of eases in the front door like an old neighbor. Um, Kind of sits down at the kitchen table and stays a little longer than planned. But if you give it a chair and you let it speak, something surprising happens. Um, you find there's room left over for joy to come back home to. This chapter is about that slow, quiet healing, about front porch memories, rocking chairs left untouched, and the way God slips comfort into the empty spaces if we let Him. So let's pull up a seat and let's walk this one together. Again, this one's called When You Make Room for Grief. Grief comes quiet in the South. It comes like a slow rain drifting across a cotton field, soft at first, then steady, then all at once. Folks down here learn early that heartache doesn't kick down a door. It lets itself in, wipes its feet on the mat, and sits with you a while. You don't always want it there, but you don't turn it out either. Not if you've lived long enough. Not if you understand the way life really works. There was a man I knew once, lived off a gravel road not far from Bio Bartholomew. He lost his wife in late September, right when the heart breaks just enough to trick you into believing summer nights might last forever. He kept her rocking chair by his window like it was some sacred relic. Never moved it, never dusted it, just left it there, tilted forward the way she leaned when she'd listened to the train whistle drift from the county next door. He told me once on a gray morning that the dew clung thick to it like fence rails. He said, "Son, grief ain't something you outrun." He said it the way a man says when he's learned the hard way. You give it room, you sit back, and you let it tell you its piece. I didn't understand it back then, but grief has a way of teaching a man in time. You see, down here, when somebody dies, the casserole dishes start showing up on porches like clockwork. Green bean casseroles, buttered rolls, pies that smell like childhood. It's the South way of saying, we can't fix this, but we can sit with it a while. People gather on porches and lean against trucks, talking soft, telling small stories about the one who's gone. Sometimes no words are spoken at all, just the quiet company of people who knew and know your sorrow and don't feel the need to dress it up. That's what making room looks like. For the man with the empty rocking chair, grief stayed a long while. Months went by, then a year. He still woke early, made 2 cups of coffee out of habit, poured one down the sink. He still slept on his side of the bed, still kept her Bible on the nightstand, pages dog-eared where fingers once lingered. But here's the thing folks forget. Grief, when tended to, begins to loosen its grip. It doesn't vanish, it just shifts. It becomes something that sits beside you instead of on top of you, something that aches without breaking. One evening, he stepped out on the front porch and noticed the sun dripping gold over the treetops. He told me it startled him, just how pretty it looked. how alive the world seemed, how he felt for the first time in a long while the faint stirring of gratitude, not for the pain, but for what the pain meant. It's strange, he said, but when I let myself miss her, I started remembering her right. He didn't say it with tears or trembling, just simple truth. And when I remembered her right, I could see the joy trying to make its way back in. That's the thing about the heart. It's not a closed room, it's a house with shifting walls. And if you don't shove grief into a corner, if you let it breathe, it will make space for the light that comes in after. Joy doesn't arrive marching, it comes like a dawn slipping under a curtain, quiet, steady, and honest. I think that's why the old folks say a man must mourn fully if he wants to love fully again. Down here, we know the same hands that bury the dead also rock the living. The same eyes that cry over loss can still recognize beauty. And the same heart that breaks can, if allowed, open again. So this is what I've learned. When you make room for grief, you're not surrendering, you're preparing. You're clearing the field so joy can take root again. You're letting God come close enough to do his quiet healing work. And somewhere between the dusk and the dawn, between the empty chairs and the gentle memory, you will feel it. The soft return of something good, something you thought you'd lost forever. That's joy's way. And joy, like the South itself, always circles back home. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you can make your way through my reading. I struggle sometimes, but if you did enjoy it, slide over to my YouTube page and give it a like, give it a follow, and share it maybe. And let's grow that community, and hopefully, again, some of these things can help some people. Thanks a lot. Thanks for listening. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.